As someone who is Caucasian and gets canceled for racist tweets, past behavior, your apology should be 2 words, I'm sorry, and the video should be cut. There should be no backstory. Growing up in a racist household does not make you racist, in my opinion. That's what I feel like. If we all were a product of our own environment, I promise you we'll all be in different places today. The fuck does that mean? You make it a backstory trying to be the victim, you're not the victim here. IMO, for the next girls who get canceled for past racist tweets, because there will be more, specifically Caucasians, I need you to start off your apology video with saying, I used to be racist and I am not. You know what I'm saying? I need to hear it, bitch. I want you to sound it out. Racist. I need to hear it because the girls be so scared to use the word. Bitch, y'all say everything else but the word racist. I want to hear it. Okay, I'm like, okay, bitch, you stand on big business. Okay.
A popular white content creator on TikTok has been going viral and getting cancelled, like literally anything, name it at this point. People are on our house right now because of a tweet resurfacing back on the media. These tweets are obviously racist tweets. If you have been following and paying attention to the pattern of this popular content creator, especially palm colored ones, when they get to a certain point, their old tweets will always resurface back on the media, and it's never a good one. The truth is, this is one of the hardest one, or let me say the most racist I've seen cases like this. This lady was not just using the, R or calling someone the N word or all of that. She was literally on a full blown racist mode. It was like a button in her was switched on to be freaking racist. And people are not buying it at all, especially her apology, because a lot of people believe that she's not apologizing to people, she's only apologizing to her followers who might be disappointed in her and want to unfollow her. I'm going to leave links to accounts that post this tweet. She tweeted so bad to the point where she said Trayvon Martin deserves to be unalived. And she said she grew up in a racist family. She made an apology video where I would like you guys to watch yourself to listen to why she said she was like that back then and how she has changed. A lot of people believe that there is nothing like she has changed, because she said in her video that she changed after college, and graduating after college should be somewhere around 22 to 24, and she's currently 27. People are not buying that talk of changing in the past 3 years. They believe that she's still a full-blown racist. This has sparked a lot of conversation. Let's go into our apology video and as well what people are saying about our tweet and as well the apology video. It's going to be in 2 parts, so this is the part 1.
Alright, guys, I have had a lot to say about accountability lately and how important it is and how far it can go, and I feel like I'm not taking my own advice. Obviously, by now you guys have seen the tweets that are circulating around. They unfortunately are not fake. Those are real tweets, like real things that I said. First of all, I want to acknowledge that I feel the same way about them that you do. I think they're so disturbing, they're wrong, they're horrible, and they're disgusting. Of course, I do appreciate the people who are coming to bat for me and like saying like, it was so long ago and like she's grown and stuff, but like it doesn't fucking matter. Like it literally does not matter. They are horrible. I want to talk about particularly the Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman situation. Try not to be so emotional because I don't want it to seem like it's like a sympathy thing at all. I also don't want to blame anybody else at all, and so I'm trying like to be really careful about that. I just want to explain like and give some context into like my mindset at the time, because I have seen like some comments today that are like, well, no shit, she's racist, like white nepo baby, like a little like spoiled brat, like, and that was not my situation. And my parents were addicts, so I was adopted by my grandparents when I was like 10, and I grew up with them from that point on. And as is true for a lot of grandparents, they're a little bit less progressive than a lot of us are now. And my grandma has dementia, so it was really just like me and my grandpa, and he is a very, very right-wing conservative man, okay? It was like my household was literally just Fox News all the time, Rush Limbaugh, like if you guys know who that is, like playing literally all day long through the house, and that was just like the only thing ever that I had been exposed to. A lot of you guys have also seen my mom's Twitter because she was responding back and forth about the Trayvon Martin situation, and I just should have known better. I know her, and I should have known that she is not somebody that I take any sort of political insight from at all. Again, sometimes you like have these people that you like put on a pedestal and you think everybody older than you is smarter than you and knows everything, and they do not. Truthfully, it took me a really long time. Like, I know some of the tweets I was like 18 and people are like, yeah, like she was old enough to know better. And like, honest to God, you guys, it wasn't until like even after college that I really started to like shift my way of thinking. And there are people in my life who I might have looked up to forever who I do not agree with. And I think it's amazing now that people are like learning earlier on about politics and like forming their own opinions outside of like what their parents think or what they're hearing or whatever it is. But that just wasn't the case for me. Whatever I heard, I passed on. I'm sorry, very, very sorry to anybody who is hurt by the tweets, because obviously they are very hurtful. Like, a lot of it is just like what, like, why would I even say that? And I apologize for not having said something sooner. I just felt like I was getting these messages from people who like were hurt by them, and I felt like by bringing more attention to it, I was just going to be hurting more people, and that was not the right mindset. I should have said something sooner, and I would never let something go this far again. Like, I love you all so much, and obviously I know that there are some people who are just like not going to care for me anymore, and like I understand that. I need you to know that like is not how I think, that is not what I believe, and I am 27 years old now. I've had so much time to like learn and grow and like formulate my own opinions, and they are nothing like they were when I was 17, 18 years old.
Before you sprint to give your sympathies to people who are being held accountable for their racist pasts, I implore you to think of the people who they were going to school with, and to think of their black peers, and to think of all of the people who they were around who were on the receiving end of that racism, who had no choice but to know better, because it was life or death. I will never forget how people treated me in high school and middle school, and even in my first year of college, because it was genuinely traumatizing, and I'm still having to unpack all of that to this day, and it keeps building on. Just as much as we should give people grace and mercy, we need to be mindful and keep holding these people accountable for the things that they say and do. That's all I'm gonna say. Thanks for listening. Toodles!
Some of the tweets I was like 18 and people are like, yeah, like she was old enough to know better. And like, it wasn't until like even after college that I really started to like shift my way of thinking.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but don't most people graduate college around 22 to 24? So you are 27 right now, and you are trying to convince me that the racism ran away. I'm sorry, no, that the racism ran away, just cleared out your body just 3 to 4 years ago? Please shut the front door. I cannot take any of this shit seriously, because Trayvon Martin lost his life when I was in middle school. And at middle school age, do you know what me and every other person in my very diverse middle school did? We put on hoodies and had fucking Arizona bottles and Skittles. And looking back on it, that didn't really do much. No one saw it. We didn't post it nowhere, nothing like that. But there was solidarity. There was concern amongst 10 to 14-year-olds. And you mean to tell me... I can even admit to having problematic ways of thinking, right? I think most people can, especially if you have grown up, like she said, with someone who is older in the household, or someone maybe who is an American in the household. That can very much change your point of view. But if you're trying to convince me that you could not tell right from wrong up until 3 to 4 years ago, that is not the parental influence. Oh, I'm a product of my upbringing. No, you're a dummy. Oh, sorry.
If Brooke Schofield felt this way about Trayvon Martin, I guarantee you she probably had similar thoughts about Sonia Massey, Breonna Taylor, Philando Castile, Eric Garner, George Floyd. It's not very shocking. However, I do think it's kind of crazy to come up on the internet and tell everybody that the reason you felt that way was because your grandfather was obsessed with Rush Limbaugh. Ipso facto, you became obsessed with those kind of, thoughts. However, let's not lie. Calling Mexicans bean dip, saying that Black people voted for Hillary Clinton because of Beyonce, and that you have very, very nappy hair, Buki, that is within you. That is not something that you learned, that you grew up with that. That's in your bloodstream. That's your DNA, right? And getting up on the internet and saying that that's not who you are anymore and that was 10 years ago, I'm so sorry. I know white women to lie, cry, and be racist. So considering that you are fitting the type, and you and Tana Mojo do platform and coddle and mingle with a lot of bigots, I'm not shocked by any of this. Anything you say, doesn't make any sense, in all honesty, and rightfully so, because nobody wants to hear an overfilled, overplumbed white woman cry about how she was being racist when she knows that back then she wholeheartedly meant everything she said.
I have had a lot to say about accountability lately and how important it is and how far it can go, and I feel like I'm not taking my own advice.
And action. Yes. Girl, I don't give a fuck. I was about to say we. I can only speak for me. I don't give a fuck about that weak ass apology. Here's the thing when it comes to me. Once you show me you're racist one time, that's all it takes. That's all it fucking takes for me. You can't call me a fucking porch monkey and then a year later be like, hey, Shaquille, you know what? I didn't mean that shit. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. A part of you still wants to own me. Like, I'm telling you, bro, just show me you racist one time. You can keep that weak ass apology. I know you already taught whoever PR is. Listen, keep that shit. You know what this sounds like? You ever caught a motherfucker cheating and they be like, oh, I ain't gonna do it no more. You only saying that shit because you got caught. You plan on doing it again, and that's still who you are. And I'm not gonna give you another opportunity to fuck me over again. No, we not doing none of that.
Those people that get under influencers' apology videos for their very racist past remarks and comment things like, oh, we love you, oh, we forgive you, we're here for you, we've all been there before, they must be learning French. And I just don't consider them real people. Like, I just can't imagine having that much of a parasocial relationship with someone that I could see them talking about how they didn't learn empathy for minorities until after college and be like, wow, they could never make me hate you. Are you dumb? Like, what do you mean you spent most of your main developmental years being racist and it took you till after college to unlearn that? Like, that's not normal. Let's not act like that's some rite of passage of adolescence, because it's not. Anyways, whenever these influencers apologize for whatever racist, ignorant thing they said, they're never actually apologizing directly to the communities that they affected. And it's always directed to some vague audience, like, oh, to the people that I offended, to the people that I hurt. Who are you talking about? Be specific. And that's why you have a bunch of white women in the comments accepting the apology. Like the Venn diagram of people that are rightfully upset about her very ignorant tweets and her usual audience, her pre-existing followers, they're two separate audiences, like two separate circles. And you know what? I'm sure there's actually some overlap between those two groups. Like, I'm sure there's black people that were fans of her and followed her, definitely. But isn't that even more reason to apologize directly to them? Like, if you're not going to apologize directly to the black community and you're going to be vague in your response, surely you would at least acknowledge your own black followers. Because it's very clear to me when watching these apology videos, they only care about maintaining support from this group of people. They don't care about the actual minority groups that they pissed off. And hey, you people in the overlap section, they don't care about you either. Like, I'm so sorry, they don't.
The thing about Brooke Schofield and this apology is that her apology is incredibly useless. She spends the entire time trying to explain to us all about how actually her parents are addicts and her grandparents raised her and her grandparents are of a different generation and they didn't know better and they raised her to then also not know better. Except in real time, when Brooke was like 18 and she was tweeting, she talks about how she's saying really offensive stuff and knows it. So there's no world where both of those things can be true. You can't not have known better because you were raised by racists, but then also know that what you were saying and doing is racist. Those two things are not compatible. And I know for a fact that she knows what she was saying was wrong, because you can see in this tweet right here, she says, I said so many accidentally racist things last night. So she knows that she has some sort of negative, wrong biases, and then continues to exist in them. Like, transparently, one question Brooke and people that are forgiving her, oftentimes not even black people who are forgiving her, fail to call out, fail to answer, is how a 17-year-old black boy, according to Brooke, was a grown man, but Brooke at 18 making these tweets was a child. How are those things possible? She knew what she was doing. She said it because she didn't care. She has never cared. She still does not care. This has never been about her caring about being offensive, caring about what she says. She cares that she got caught because she makes money off of you and I engaging with her content. And people will stop doing that if they know who she really is. So I'm really sorry, Brooke, that your boyfriend was a shitty person, but it seems that you are too.
When it comes to the Brooke Schofield situation, I feel like I'm not surprised, and anyone that is hasn't been paying attention. First of all, Tana Mojo has a long, extensive racist history. But along with that, the signs were there that they both are violently racist and anti-black. First of all, how often do you see them associate with people of color, let alone black people, besides like Amari? How many times have you seen a guest on their podcast be a person of color, especially black? And when it comes to Love Island, they had Leah, but not the winner, Serena, or even the other person in the top 3, Janae. But also, if you're putting that aside, that they don't surround themselves with diversity, so naturally there's an ignorance that comes with that, they also surround themselves with Trump supporters. Like, not only did Tana Mojo closely date and engage with Jake Paul and the Paul brothers, who are known conservatives, but she also has close ties to Bryce Hall, who just came out and endorsed Donald Trump. She also has periodically platformed abusers, pedophiles, bigots. And so it's just like, why are we surprised that the podcasters who've branded themselves as like canceled are problematic? They think it's amusing and fun to have controversies. They think it's clout and fame. And it's like, cool, but like, don't act surprised when that comes and bites them in the ass and that's their downfall. I'm not surprised. It is shown periodically. I wish people didn't support them. I wish more people platformed more deserving people, like people who cared about the world outside of themselves, or even other marginalized community members, but it is what it is. Also, for all the people saying, oh, she was 17, you want to know what I was doing when I was 17? Organizing a high school walkout for gun violence. My sister is the same age as Brooke and Tana. And I know what we were doing when we were 17. People always coddle white people and men where it's like, oh, they're just a boy, they're just young, boys will be boys. And it's like that same grace isn't given to young girls or to POC kids. So it's just like your empathy ends with privileged folk. And there's nothing she can say to even justify that behavior because it's violent and it's disturbing. And I know her peers were probably traumatized from it. So there's no excuse.
You know, I remember when the verdict for George Zimmerman came in and how devastated I was. Like, even now, I'm getting goosebumps. And I was lucky enough to be surrounded by so many amazing young Black activists for the founding weekend of Black Youth Project 100. And here we are, you know, a group of 18, 19, 20-year-olds sitting in a conference room, watching the verdict come in and just being devastated. I think a little of us had a little hope that maybe justice would show its face. And when it didn't, we made this statement.
To the family of Brother Trayvon Martin and to the Black community, may this statement find us in the spirit of peace and solidarity. We know that justice for Black life is justice for humanity. Our hope in community was shaken through a system that is supposed to be built on freedom and justice for all. We are all your sons and daughters. We are the marginalized and disenfranchised. We are 100 next generation leaders. We are the Black Youth Project, Beyond November movement. We see the hopelessness of a generation that has been broken, trying to find its place in this world. We understand that we need to turn anger into action and pain into power.
I say all of this to say, I am sick and tired of influencers who have made a platform off of exposing and talking about their lives and being able to articulate when they have been harmed. But when it's time to face the fact of the harm they've inflicted on other communities, especially as something as devastating as the unaliving of a young Black man who his only crime was being Black and walking in his neighborhood, it's extremely frustrating. It's even more frustrating when they give you a half-ass apology, and then everyone in the comments who was not harmed think that they have the right to accept that apology on your behalf, on your community's behalf. So for Brooke, who can make a 30-part, 40-part story time about how toxic her boyfriend is, we're still waiting for our parts. We're still waiting for the multiple parts apologies, not just talking about the tweet you wrote about Trayvon Martin, but also the other tweets that were just disgusting. And I don't care how old you were, I don't care what community you grew up in, for you to take those views and put them online, you knew what you were doing. You knew it. And I refuse to play this game that you didn't. I refuse to play this game and pretend like you were just a victim of your circumstances and had no idea the things that you were saying were harmful. I would rather you say you believe that, you no longer believe that, but stop playing in our faces.
As a now former cancel podcast watcher, I have to say that those tweets are ridiculous. And the apology is even worse. Sorry, but my grandparents just were not progressive, so... I get growing up in a household and being raised in that lifestyle or that mindset, but I also don't get it. I think that just goes to show that you cannot place your own personal morals and principles onto other people on the internet, because at the end of the day, we just don't know them. No, it doesn't take a lot to not be a racist, but we just assumed that she wasn't. We just placed the title of being a generally good person on her. She never asked for that or like did anything to get it. I also think that just shows that you can be a follower of someone, like subscribe to their channel, enjoy their content, enjoy their lifestyle and the stuff that they put on the internet. Liking the creator and their content is just like two separate things. Then they should just some random girl who just picked up her phone and started posting videos on the internet. It's like, will I be angry about this in my personal life? No. Will I be hurt by this in my personal life? No. It's just some random girl. Like, sure you don't go into watching someone being like, oh, one day she's gonna come out as a racist. But like, it is what it is. These people just exist out there. They simply would just be not listening to the podcast anymore, will not be watching her TikToks. It just is what it is. You can't expect anything from someone that you don't know. Like, you just can't expect good things from people that is just exists out there in the world.
Those tweets are so hard to read. Like, it's not the normal common ones that always pop up anytime these popular white people go viral and their tweets start resurfacing online. These ones are so hard. This one is like to the deep core. Like, this person is literally racist. Like, and then coming online to make an apology video and stating that she was that way because her parents were literally racist because she lived with racist people is not enough excuse. Like, people are not having that at all. And the fact that, she graduated college maybe 5 years max ago, and people are saying that is not enough time for you to literally change. This seems like something that is inside of you. It looks like something that is embedded in you. Like, it is inside of you. It is who you are. This person said, to be honest, if she said the word with the A at the end, the backlash wouldn't be this bad. But defending a white supremacist and openly admitting to using homophobic slurs, there is no coming back from this. Like I said, if only the tweet that was out is just like saying the word with the hair, and I know this person is talking about the word nigger, I don't think it's going to be that bad. Like, and I truly believe that the backlash is not really going to be this bad. But imagine tweeting and saying someone deserves to die. Like, literally deserves to die. Another person said, because this country will always defend white women, they will always be seen as damsels in distress, and they will always accept an apology not meant for them. You know right from wrong when you are 16. This comment is coming from, I think, a creator that addressed the fact that there are white people in the comment section of our video accepting the apology on behalf of the minorities that she has offended. Like, who sent you guys to accept an apology that is not even meant for you guys in the first place? Apologizing to the people she offended, and it's not the white folks. She is apologizing to black folks, but white people are the one kind of accepting the apology on behalf of black people. It is so pathetic. And I think that is even making this case bigger than it's supposed to be. The person said, it is crazy because there are people you can pay to go through your Twitter and delete old tweets. I don't get how these white people don't learn from white people in the past. This is a pattern. This is a trend. You already know that once you start going viral, even if you're not a white person, if you start going viral, people are literally going to dig in. Like, those archives are going to be checked. People are going to dig in. So you might as well delete those things. Finding out that a popular person that people love so much and seeing what they've been saying and what they have to say about minorities and all of that is crazy. Another person said she was basically saying he deserved to die for being 5'10", black, and at night. I can never support a white woman. This one said, what is crazy is that she would just be fine. She will recover because people who support her are the same way with their backstage racism. The people accepting the apology on behalf of black people, I'm sure if any of them should go viral, their own tweet is as well going to resurface back online. It seems like they're on the same page as her. It seems like they know the situation she's in because it's something that they have done, or it's a thought that has crossed their mind. So all those racist tweets that she put out is not new to them. It's something that they can put out as well. And that is the reason why they are accepting the apology on behalf of black people. Another person said she was 17 and 18, writing them tweets, and said she only changed after college. That was a few years ago. This one said, even if they wipe their Twitter, there's a way to get deleted tweets. Might as well make a new one. But I am glad they are that stupid so we can see their true colors. But after listening to her story with her ex, I saw she was slow, so this is no surprise. Yeah, there are some people making videos saying, when you know you're going viral, why can't you go back and delete your old tweet, since you know that it's going to come back and bite you in the ass? But on the other end, at least people can see who they are for it. This person said, we're supposed to care she was a kid, but she didn't care that Trayvon Martin was a kid. She thought he deserved to die. All she's getting is a tongue lashing, which she probably can't hear over whites forgiving her. Let me hear what you guys think about this tweet. She's actually a very popular content creator on TikTok that people love so much. And, just seeing those tweets come out, and not just a tweet of calling someone the N word, literally full-blown racist tweets, like back to back to back since 2012 and 2013. It's crazy. And so the people in the comment section who are not minorities, who are not black, and saying that they are forgiving her, like it's been long, let it go, I really, really hope that you guys actually take a seat back, because this is not it at all. Because even you saying people should take a seat back from talking about someone who have been racist all their life as well come back to bite your own ass in the future as well. So it will be better and a good advice for you guys to take a sit back, because people are not having it with this one. With the tweet and the apology, people are not having it at all. Let me hear what you guys think about that tweet. Let me hear what you think about what people are saying. And let me hear what you think about the white people accepting this apology on behalf of black people who never sent them. Let's continue this conversation down below. I'll catch you guys in the second part.